So we have created a single segment column that is circular and also another one that is rectangular. So let us proceed and create a multi-segment column. So proceed to your column tool and then proceed to the settings dialog. So here I'll start with the segment, and here I'll proceed and choose a multi-segmented type of a column. And I'll choose a structure to be rectangular. I'll start off with a structure that is rectangular. And here, if we look here, we have reinforced concrete, then 100% that is next to reinforced concrete, then 3000. So 3000 here is actually the height of this particular segment. If I click on add, you can see the segment, the number of segments are 2. The first one at 50%, the second one at 50%, and both of them are 1500. Now if I proceed and click once again, I'll provide a that segment, but now the third segment and the second segment, you can see both of them are at 25% and also at 750. So the initial 3000 that we had is actually retained as we proceed to add this particular segment. So let me just click on add again. You can see now all these 1500 by 750 by 375 by 375, we all add up to 3000, because we choose here some because of the height that we had here previously when starting off. So that is how we are able to add a segment. So I have added a segment below each of these segments. Now let me, for example, say I have this segment. Remember, that is where I started. I want to add a segment below. It will not add below this one. It will add below, or below this, or below what we have. If I click on add, you can see now the segment we added below that, and then the initial height, which was 1500, we divided into 2. So that is how we are able to create segments. I'm going to remove them and proceed to where I was. So generally we have only one segment, which is equivalent to only have one single segment. I have the same thing here. Yes, but if we decide to add a segment, for example, I click on add, now we have these two segments. The height here is actually flexible height, and here you have 1500. In that case, you cannot change the 100. The only thing that you can change the segment, the value of the segment currently at 50%. Now, if I change this to 25%, you can see it will be at 25%. There it is. It is the one that is shown in some yellow color there, some dark yellow color. So it's at 25%. In this case, I'm using the percent other than the height itself, the value of the height. So that is one thing. Of course, here is because we are using a flexible height. If I change to fixed height, I choose fixed height of 750. So if I choose to have fixed height, have a priority of changing the height itself other than the percentage. Here we were changing the percentage, but this one we are now saying this is a flexible height, or we are now saying this is a fixed height. Had a flexible height, had a fixed height. Now the difference between the two is that here we are only dealing with the percentage. So let's say, for example, we change the height of the column. Let's say a height of the column here changes. It is 3000 currently. Maybe we change it to 6000. So this segment, it will take 25% of that 6000. However, if we fixed it by the value here, even if we have 6000, this value is going to be fixed to be 750. Yeah, and that is what we mean. So you can decide to proceed with the fixed height for all of them. Have a fixed height. That way you're able to control the height by adding the height here. So let's, for example, create a simple segment here. let's say I want the height to be about I want a height of about 1800. You can type in 1800 there, or even click on these values. So that is what you would have. And then as we said, if you do the settings for a particular segment, see if it is a single segment, because yes, it is a single segment. So if you want a VINA, you'd create a VINA for that particular segment only. It will not affect the other segment like that. Then you choose the material, maybe the way you wish to have it, like that. So you choose the VINA to have a VINA or not. For override, you choose to have an override for that particular segment or not. So the important thing to note here is that each segment is actually treated as if it is a single segment, and you can do the settings for a particular segment on its own. Now let us illustrate that. I'm going to choose this 750 there, and I'm going to change the sizes here, tapered size, and then proceed and click on this arrow here. So here it is 400. Remember, this is the top, so the top is somewhere here. Then we have the bottom here. Let us have the top as 400, then the bottom is 600. Then we have the option to link them. So if you this link is active, it's going to populate one value, the other value automatically. So we could have something like this, and as you can see, each segment is treated on its own. Let's assume that I want, for the first segment, I want it to be circular. So it will be circular like that, and you can provide override as you wish. This one also, it looks like this. You can provide overrides as you wish. Yeah, even this one we can say I don't want an override, I just want a VINA there. You choose the VINA and choose the material for the VINA. So let me just click OK, place it, so that we can have an idea of what we mean. I'm going to click to place. It looks like this, and we can view it in 3D. So this is a multi-segment column. Remember, we had single segment column, but here we have a multi-segment column with one column there. So this is one segment, then another segment that is of course tapered, and also with a VINA there. So that is it. Now let us add another segment here. So proceed back and select this particular segment that I have added, multi-segment, and then proceed to the settings. Here I'll click on add. Let me click on add. There will be another one that will be added below that. It will take the values it will take the values of what was clicked there before when you are adding the segment. So this one, maybe I would want it to be solely, you have it the way it was. Okay, for the one below that, I would want it maybe to be just rectangular there. Here I may change this one to be about 800. Would have something like that. And then remember, the height here of course is a fixed height. It's 750. You can change it the way you want. We can have 1000, that, and then click OK. So let us view it in 3D. You can see that is a multi-segment column, and that is how it is actually created. The most important thing to get is that for a multi-segment column, you deal with each segment at a time. Yeah, you deal with each segment at a time. You do the settings as if is a single segment. You want a VINA, it is there. And then of course we have, if you want a tapered, so for a tapered size, we have the top value there. Also we have the bottom value. So you do those settings like that. Of course you choose how to control the structure, the height. You decide to use the flexible height to deal with percentages. You choose to have flexible height to now provide individual height. Now for my case, I would proceed with the fixed height so that I can be able to control the height of a particular segment. That is what we mean. So that is what you need to understand. And then we have the segment join. So between each of these segment, there is usually a join. For example, although not visible here, is a join between this segment and this segment. So that is the join here. You choose how the join actually is cast. For example, currently it is horizontal at 90 degrees. You can decide to change here, and you'd give a custom angle. Maybe currently it cannot do anything, but let's assume I add another segment to this. Click on this join. Okay, for this one, for this one is horizontal. It will be horizontal for that particular join. But if you click on this option for a custom angle, you can have a custom angle, for example 45 degrees. So let me, for example, click on this and see it is somehow slanted. Let me proceed and remove the overrides for that particular segment. Then I click OK. If it in 3D, you can see how this segment is joining with the top segment. So they are joined at an angle of 45 degrees rather than having a horizontal join. So that is what we mean by the segment join. That is what we set segment join here. Yes, so that is all about how we create this particular multi-segment column. They are more applicable when you are creating architectural columns. So you would use this particular multi-segment application, create what we call architectural columns. So it's very simple. You only need to understand that you need to work on a segment on its own.